It's so wonderful that you're here continuing to make great music and making an impact. And you're not ashamed to say that you believe in Jesus Christ.
Oh, absolutely. You know, people talk about Alice being a rebel. There was never a rebel, more of a rebel than Jesus Christ. If you want to talk about a rebel, he was the ultimate.
That's right.
Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper just put out a new album at the age of 73. 73, ladies and gentlemen. The first question I had to ask myself was, how is this guy still relevant? In my opinion, right, the last decent album he put out was in 2000. Right, Brutal Planet. It was okay. But I mean, other than that, the last really good album, I thought, was way back in 1987. It was Raise Your Fist and Yell. I enjoyed that one. Yeah, I used to be a fan. But that's not the point of this video. The second question I had to ask myself was, is he still trying to pass himself off as a Christian while impaling babies on stage? Right? I mean, let's face it, the Catholic Church is the last place you need to go to find Jesus Christ. Alice Cooper is no different. Right? Now, I have no idea what is in Vincent Fournier's heart, but I can't help but wonder, is Vincent saved through Jesus Christ? And is Alice holding him back? To understand that, you need to understand MK Ultra mind control. Now, Alice has made a career out of singing about the effects of MK Ultra mind control. Now, go back and listen to Welcome to My Nightmare all the way through to an album called Dada. He claims he can't even remember recording that album, which is another sign of MK Ultra mind control. And MK Ultra mind control and fallen angel worship has been the falling away for countless Hollywood celebrities. Again, Alice Cooper is no different, right? So I think 2017 is a good place to start here. Let's show you something. Let's show you Alice sitting on a Masonic throne in a Masonic temple, wearing the fabled Masonic black and white colors of duality. We'll get a close-up here of what is etched into the stone above the all-seeing eye, and then we'll go to Forbes magazine. What is happening here is he is promoting an album called Paranormal, and above him, translated, means hear, see, and be silent. Right? Now, this first appeared in the Freemasons calendar in 1777. Right? And the full meaning of this is hear, see, and hold your tongue if in peace you would live. Right? That is the code of silence, which is on display right here. Right? You're not supposed to talk about the brotherhood, right? Again, on the front of his album cover, The Eyes of Alice Cooper, which in my opinion is a horrible album. But notice the red and the black, even back here on this picture on his wrist. Red and black, the colors of Satanism. Right? And that's well documented. You can look that up. So now you have to ask, is Alice Cooper a Freemason? Right? Well, let's look at some pictures. Right, this pose, very common within Freemasonry, well documented. The hand on the chin. Right, you can look this up. He seems to be making it very clear. Now let's go back to the temple for a moment, because like I said, he's promoting this album called Paranormal. I haven't listened to it, so I have no opinion on its content. But look at the cover. It looks just like this. Right? More Freemasonic symbolism, and the number 33. 33 being the highest degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Now let's go to Gematria real quick. This might shock you, right? The name Vincent happens to be 33 in full reduction. Vincent also happens to be 33 in Jewish reduction. Now, Fournier happens to be 33 in the septenary cipher, so he has a dual 33 name, right? The Occult of Masonic duality. As above, so below. The name Alice happens to be 33 in reverse full reduction, and the name Cooper is 36 in full reduction. Now let me explain 36 for a moment. The sum of all numbers from 1 to 36 equal 666, meaning 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 all the way to 36 equals 666. And this is why the Satanic cipher begins with A being 36, because 36 is 666. So given that, not only is Cooper 36 in full reduction, but Alice Cooper is 36 in the septenary cipher. Now, let's go to this very brief bio, and you can read this at your leisure. Alice Cooper is the godfather of shock rock, right? Now, godfather is 63 in full reduction. Now you have to bring in the Satanic law of reversal, because in this instance, using the Satanic law of reversal, 63 becomes 36, which is 666. Right? It's very clever how they describe Alice Cooper, because 666 is the number of the beast, and that will come up very shortly. And just for good measure, shock rock equals 33 in the septenary cipher. Now that's quite a puzzle so far, right? When you make all of the pieces fit. But the puzzle is nowhere yet complete, okay? Right now, let's take a look at even more Masonic hand signs, and this is well documented as well, both inside and outside of the truth community. Again, the red and black symbolism here, the colors of Satanism. And right here we have not only the very clear telling of the hands, but we have the black and white symbolism in the background. You can even buy a shirt with the same symbolism on it at one of his shows. And here's Alice, the same symbolism with his satanic buddy, Marilyn Manson. And that X right over his head, that'll come up momentarily. Right? More of the same. But even more of the same symbolism. Pentagrams around his head, right? Clearly here we're seeing how he manages to stay relevant, right? It's redundant at this point, isn't it? Now, not only does Alice Cooper sport the satanic black and red colors constantly, right? There's also the Masonic black and white. I challenge you, look Alice Cooper up. You'll constantly see over and over again, black and red, black and white, constantly. It's all about Masonic duality and Satanism. You know, pentagram with a skull in the middle of it, black and red, right? And by the way, Fox in the background there, you don't think this isn't by design, right? Fox equals 666. Now, speaking of the black and the red, right, here's a picture of Alice Cooper and Vincent Price. Now, just like Vincent Fournier, Vincent Price also has a dual 33 name. I already showed you that Vincent is 33 in full reduction and 33 in Jewish reduction. And Price just so happens to be 33 in full reduction. I mean, these two were destined to meet, clearly. And not only that, but let's look at a title of this old TV special, right? The Nightmare, right? Vincent Price also starred in this. This was a trip down MK Ultra Lane, if you will. The title, The Nightmare, right? The Nightmare equals 666 in reverse primes. All right, so we clearly have the 33 and 666 connection that I have talked about many times on this channel. So when you look at the title of this, what you see is 666 clearly, or the Beast. Look at this old VHS cover, right? Alice Cooper, the Beast. Right? Once you put the glasses on, you see that, right? Take this comebacks tour that he had. I think this was back in 86, or the tour was in 87 on his Constrictor album. Right? The Nightmare Returns. Right? You put the glasses on, you see that says 666 returns, or the Beast returns. Right? You gotta love the snake on there too. Great marketing technique, right? Now, speaking of nightmare, let's look at the Welcome to My Nightmare album cover from 75. Right? The pyramid. You get the same exact thing on Welcome to My Nightmare. I never really listened to this album, so I have no opinion on its content. But when you look at those two album covers, back to back, it looks an awful lot like this. Right? The Knights Templar. And speaking of the Knights Templar, research, some of the jewelry that Alice wears. It's an eye-opener. Right? So let's stick with nightmare while we move on to one-eye symbolism. Right? Again, well documented. This is a tribute album to Alice Cooper. Welcome to the Nightmare. Right? So when you put the glasses on, this reads, Welcome to 666 or Welcome to the Beast. Right? Complete with one-eye symbolism and the satanic colors of black and red. The man behind the mask. This was a hoot back in the day, though. Right? But once you realize what's going on, it's not so funny anymore. Right? You have to grow out of this stuff. There's some more one-eye symbolism. Don't think that this isn't by design right here. Right? Of all the poses that you could strike that night, right? It was this one. There's some more one-eye symbolism, right? He thinks it's funny. He's not even trying to hide it. Along Came a Spider, horrible album. Man, look how clever they are there, getting the one-eye symbolism on the Trash album. And by the way, Trash just so happens to be 33 in reverse full reduction. And here's some more one-eye symbolism on the Brutal Planet album. Right, you look closely, you just see eyeballs all over the place. And here's some clever one-eye symbolism with the snake. Right? Now this leads us into the snake itself. We can see that code of silence again with the snake here, and much like on his Constrictor album. Right? Well, let's look at the snake, the serpent. It's a biblical name for Satan. But what really got me here, considering the man we're talking about, a sly or treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it. Right? Why would you lick a snake? Right? What business does a Christian man have doing this? This is bordering on worship. And by the way, orange equals 33 in full reduction. Right? This man is surrounded by the number 33 and 666. Right? Now, let's look at this picture right here. This picture is going to lead into the meaning of the top hat, which is quite eye-opening when it comes to the truth of Alice Cooper being hidden in plain sight. But check out that pillow real quick. Look at that pillow. Get a close-up of it. Right? Remember that jewelry I told you to look up? Now, get a good look at that right there, because this is why he has two crossed swords on his Special Forces album. Like I said, the top hat, Masonic top hats. I'll put that up. You can pause. But let's go to this one right here, real quick. In Freemasonry, top hats are often associated with the position of Worshipful Master, right? As he is the only member allowed the privilege of wearing a head covering to signify his leadership within the lodge. Right? Worshipful Master. That's quite something, right? And it goes on to say it's common for the Worshipful Master to receive top hat related trinkets and gifts, so on and so forth. It's starting to become very clear when you see all of these pictures. Worshipful Master. This is how he's managed to stay relevant at the age of 73. It has nothing to do with fantastic music. Nothing to do at all, right? More black and red symbolism. This is interesting because this is going to come full circle with where we started with the new album. There's this top hat. Alice is 33. Fournier is 33, right? Detroit. Here's some more duality, right? Not only, it's a black shirt with white fonts. Detroit happens to be 33 in Jewish reduction. Now, Detroit, like I said, the album is called Detroit Stories. Right? Here's some more one-eye symbolism. Not only is Detroit 33 in Jewish reduction, but Stories is also 33 in full reduction. Again, this man is just surrounded by the number 33. I wonder why. Now, you would think that is enough evidence. There is more. You get your double sixes, the devil horns, very sneaky. You also get the meaning of the rose, a representation or symbol of the soul that has reached full illumination. I wonder how high up on the pyramid he actually sits, right? But there it is, the rose. After all of that, let's get into MK Ultra mind control itself, right? Which is well documented in Hollywood, music, the sports industry, anyone in power, right? They are all made to be broken, and Vincent Fournier isn't any different, right? As a matter of fact, Alice loves talking about him and Vincent being two separate people. You know, go look up his past interviews. He has talked about his split personality for time immemorial. I mean, it's no different than any other famous person in the music industry or movies where they get their inspiration from divine powers or from something else that they can't remember. They had a dream, so on and so forth. They step on stage and they become somebody else. You know, how many times have you heard it over and over and over again, right? So here's one from 2007. I will read this. Check this out. Alice Cooper likes his split personalities. Boom. Right? My schedule is I get up early, I play 18 holes, and then I go about my day. I'm a 4 handicap. I play every day. The tour doesn't get in the way. And golf doesn't get in the way of becoming Alice at night. And the two Alice Coopers never meet. Boom. The Alice you see on stage, he never played golf, right? If you put a golf club on stage, he wouldn't know what it is. He would probably pick it up and think it was a weapon, right? Switching into character is automatic, Cooper said. I could be sitting here talking to you about college football, and I'll have my makeup and outfit on. But as soon as the curtain opens, I turn into that other Alice. Woo! Right? And he's a whole different character at that point. Right? It's like snapping into a completely different personality, which is exactly what MK Ultra mind control is designed to do. How many times have you heard it before? Remember when Britney Spears broke? Barbara Walters, right? How many times have you seen the scenarios where people have a breakdown and they have to go into a hospital? They reprogram them again, right? What do you think From the Inside is about? Like I said before, he doesn't remember recording 3 albums. One of them is Dada. I believe the other 2 are Flush the Fashion and Zipper Catches Skin, I believe. And I could be wrong about that, but he does have 3 Blackout albums, and I do know one of them is Dada. All right, let's go back to this. All of a sudden, I'm Hannibal Lecter. And then I play that character for 2 hours. I don't let up on him. Right? I don't let up on his sense of humor. I don't break his mood. I'm not me anymore. Now I'm him. When the curtain comes back down, I'm back. And I may ask you if Michigan beat Purdue. Right? I turn it on and off. The same story over and over again. Completely broken. Right? And you would think it's just a joke. He laughs a lot in these interviews. Go watch one of Alice's interviews. He always laughs it off. They deflect with humor. Right? You wouldn't even think that MK Ultra mind control is real, the way some of these people deflect it with humor. The point to mind control is simple, right? The influencers need to be controlled so they in turn can control everyone else. Those people being the sheep that have no idea what's really taking place, right? And this is why Alice pushes Christianity, right? It's to deceive. Because in his mind, if his mad, bloody world is cool with Jesus, right, then it's okay for you too. If you got really crazy, they would give you a shot of Thorazine and stick you in a padded cell. I sat in that room a few times. Look at how his arms are crossed, right? Let me just put the icing on the cake. Because it goes deeper than that. You would think, again, that would be enough, right? Enough evidence to say this man isn't Christian. This is all deception. Like so many other things we've seen before, coming from Hollywood, coming from the music industry, coming from sports, so on and so forth, right? This goes a lot deeper than the number 33. Let's get into crossing the arms over the chest, right? The X symbol, right? Like seen here. Again, red and black satanic colors. Right now, you can read this at your leisure, but right in the middle, we see the Illuminist / Masonic meaning of the X is simple. It is the sign of Osiris, the great Egyptian sun god, right? Fallen angel worship. I've made it a point in my other videos to try to get you to understand that all of these gods throughout history, all with a lowercase g, they're all real, they're all fallen angels. And that's what this is about. This is fallen angel worship. Check this out. This is a heck of a list. I won't read this whole thing. You can read this at your leisure. But he is the god of fertility, agriculture, the afterlife, the dead, resurrection, life, and vegetation in ancient Egypt. Apparently he did it all, right? This is what Alice Cooper is worshiping. And can you finally see it? This is what he's been doing for his entire career. Meticulously calculated. Why do you think the straitjacket is one of his most popular, most famous gimmicks? Right? Deceiving the world with Christianity while worshiping fallen angels. Telling you, hey, this is okay. Jesus says this is cool. Right? Because, Jesus is a rebel, just like Alice Cooper. He says so himself. Right? And this really is a sad ending to his story. But one that is all too common with the elites who create the influencers of the world. It's all about fame, and it's all about fortune. Live in the here and now. Take what you can while you can. Right? But at the end of the day, is it worth the price of your soul? Because you cannot drink from the cup of the Lord, and from the cup of demons too. You cannot eat at the Lord's table, and at the table of demons too.